The merchant ship Demeter washes ashore in England on August 6, 1897. A captain's log was among the wreckage that the police discovered. The Demeter arrives at the Bulgarian port city of Varna 4 weeks earlier and loads up cargo for delivery to London. Several enormous wooden crates make up the consignment, which is being transported by Romanian locals who decline to assist with loading it in order to depart the location before dusk and wish the team luck. A doctor named Clemens overhears the spacecraft asking for crew recruits. He makes an effort to persuade the crew that he would be a valued member due to his medical expertise and Cambridge-trained astronomy background, but first mate Wojciech first rejects him. He then prevents the captain's grandson, Toby, from being crushed shortly after. Elliot, the ship's captain, is impressed and asks Clemens to replace a new hire who quit after spotting the dragon emblem on the containers by joining the crew. Clemens and his crewmate Olgarin spot a shadowy figure on the deck in the Aegean Sea. Later, in the cargo hold, one of the crates collapses and cracks open. A woman is discovered inside by Clemens, who is conducting an investigation. He gives her blood transfusions to treat what appears to be an infection, even though she is barely alive. The ship's dog, Huckleberry, and all the other animals are put to death the following evening. They are all cast overboard by the crew out of concern about a rabies outbreak. The covert stowaway, Anna, awakens and alerts the group about a Transylvanian monster that lives off human blood. She was surrendered to the monster, known as Dracula in her hometown, as a blood slave, so that it would leave them alone. She exhibits multiple bite marks from the beast on her body and asserts that Dracula is already on board the ship and trying to eat. During the night, Dracula stalks the team, biting Olgarin and transforming him into a vampiric thrall. The beast grew stronger and more limbs as a result. Olgarin is bound to a table with a knot. One night, he escapes and discovers Toby in the hold. He starts looking for him and eventually captures him in the captain's chambers with Dracula. Toby is bitten by Dracula as the crew tries to save him. The following morning, as the sun rises, the vampire Olgarin, who had been bound to the mast by the crew, catches fire. Toby passes away despite receiving blood transfusions from his grandfather and is then buried at sea in a sailcloth casket. The captain unwraps the body during the burial because he thinks he sees the body moving, only to have Toby open his eyes and attack him. Before the crew can throw the vampire Toby into the water, the vampiric Toby starts to catch fire in the sunlight, badly scorching both his grandfather and himself. They are aware that they are one day from London based on the wind speed. They believed that Dracula no longer needs to eat them. Rationing took place. One person per night is eaten. They therefore set a trap to get rid of him before he gets to the coast. The beast fled from their firearms at night since it was hazy and decided not to take a direct hit. To stop Dracula from spreading havoc in London, the remaining crew members decide to try to sink the ship and drown him. Anna understood that she and Dracula are connected, that she can feel and sense him, and that he also feels it. She informed Clemens that he would seek her out. Soon later, Dracula kills Captain Elliot, Abrams, and Wojciech, and bites Anna as she tries to save Clemens. Dracula was only hurt when Clemens used an axe to attack him after saving Anna, so he switched his attention to him. Anna ascended to cut the rope holding the mast as Dracula held Clemens in the air. When the mast shattered and fell on Dracula, Anna was able to knock him down with a piece of it. Because they believe the vampire is doomed, Anna and Clemens abandon the ship. However, the ship runs aground on the British coast before sinking, and at that time, Dracula is able to remove the mast from his body and yell in triumph. On the ship's debris, Anna and Clemens float away. Anna tells Clemens that Dracula's bites are causing her to develop into a vampire and that Clemens's blood transfusions are just postponing the process. She didn't want to grow old and blend in with her people like he did. Before Clemens floats onto the beach in the early morning, Anna willingly commits suicide in the sunshine because she doesn't want to turn into a monster like Dracula. After arriving in London, Clemens visits a nearby pub and uses a sketchbook to create a portrait of Anna. He sees Dracula, dressed as an aristocrat, laughing at him after hearing the Demeter's crew's all-in-order knocking signal. There is no longer a Nosferatu. As Clemens leaves the building, he notices the vampire's shadow and starts to follow him, swearing to find him and kill him in remembrance of his deceased friends.